Let us consider the subject of mystical magic or divine destination. Let us consider the subject of mystical magic versus divine intervention. Mystical magic experiences was one of the 5 elements of success David Wood, the esteemed founder, leader of the Empower Network, mentioned in his Inner Circle seminar, Creating Spontaneous Sales Magic in Business. David claims that these unexpected, unbelievable, crazy things are epic in the lives of everybody if they would just be recognized and used to advantage. He advises us all to pay close attention to these small, seemingly unconnected episodes because, taken together, they will later be seen to have great significance in the future course of our lives. He maintains that an appreciation and harnessing of such magical occurrences may have an important bearing in the success of our business affairs as well. As I listened to him, I found myself agreeing with David strongly. I too have observed the almost mystical congruence of unusual happenings at various times of my life. At times they often seemed mysterious and unexplainable, but later they usually turned out to have great importance in predicting future events in my life. I would like to share a true story of one such apparent miracle in my life. My early years were spent in Johannesburg, South Africa, in the pre-Mandela years of apartheid. My father was a struggling construction worker, my mother an elementary school teacher in poor health. My family suffered, as did many other millions, under the constraints of the racist, oppressive government regime, known to be particularly severe in Johannesburg, where we lived. Just as I was finishing my elementary school education, a momentous decision was made by my parents to move the family to Cape Town, the friendly coastal city 1,000 miles away at the tip of the continent. Conditions there were perceived by many to be better, and especially for us as kids. A whole series of unlikely events came together at that time to make the relocation possible. The house was eventually sold, and we made the big move at the end of 1949 to begin life anew in Cape Town. I started traveling a long distance to the high school I attended, using 2 trains and a bus, and at considerable expense to the family. Now, without the driving discipline and high standards of excellence of my mother and of the school principal, S.V. Peterson, who was a famed author and poet I would not have been challenged to excel scholastically. Against all odds, 4 years later, I was awarded 3 scholarships as the matriculation results were announced at the end of my high school years. This enabled me to gain admission to the University of Cape Town. As if this was not enough of miraculous events, another unbelievable stroke of good fortune followed a few weeks later. Like a lightning bolt out of the blue, an unexpected, unsolicited letter arrived from the wealthiest man on the continent of Africa, Sir Ernest Oppenheimer. He was the owner-founder of the diamond and gold mining companies, the Anglo-American and De Beers corporations. And now he was offering to finance 6 years of tuition at the medical school of the University of Cape Town for me, with no strings attached. Now, how do you explain such good fortune? Is it mystical magic or divine intervention? Now, many people may argue that these were merely chance coincidence, or that too much significance is being attributed to them. Like David Wood, however, I subscribe to the view that there is a definite component of the supernatural to these apparently random, unplanned events. Where I differ from him, however, is in the explanation for the origin of these miracles. David ascribes them to quote-unquote magic. I prefer to regard them as having their origin in divine intervention. I believe that we do disservice to the significance of these miracles by assigning their causation to impersonal, mystical magic. I prefer to believe that their source is a loving, personal, supreme being who purposefully opens and closes doors in our lives. I concur that we need to be vigilant opportunists, ever ready to actively take massive action as the mystical events are presented to us. Another thought leader, Tony Robbins, emphasizes the mindset of belief, certainty, and confidence as being essential prerequisites to breakthrough success in life. Faith comes before massive action can be taken. So, I would recommend, 1, that we get the mindset of faith that you can succeed. 2, that we take massive action as required. 3, that we get the results waiting for you on the other side. And 4, to recycle the process, go back to 1. Click here to learn more on this subject.